Hello and welcome to another An Old Man Watches, and today I'm talking about Seeing Double from 2003. Pop band S Club have been on the road and touring for a long time. They're more than ready for a break. So when their overbearing manager disappears on them, the group welcomes that as an opportunity to lollygag about and enjoy themselves. It's only when they see TV footage of themselves in a live performance that the real reason that they realise that the reason that they haven't been hounded to get back on the road is that they've been replaced by lookalikes or robots or pop bots, they hypothesise. They swing into action to reclaim their identities and promptly get themselves arrested. One prison break later, the band return to their quest to reclaim their rightful place on stage, and in the course of this they discover that a mad scientist plans to take over the world. He intends to clone celebrities and replace the originals and then use them to influence popular opinions and trends because unlike politicians, people actually listen to celebrities. I think that the past 20 years have shown that what people actually listen to is any sufficiently prolific Twitter account. But fortunately for this film, it was made 3 years before the app with the Bluebird even existed. So they didn't realise that was the kind of world we were heading towards. So S Club 7, as they originally named, were a real-life pop group created in 1998 by former Spice Girls manager Simon Fuller. And they enjoyed pretty quick success off the back of a kid-friendly TV series called Miami 7 and had a string of successful singles and albums over the following 4 years in the UK and Europe. They never really broke it big in the US. Then one of the 7 left, reducing to the 6 members you see on your screen, and possibly because the music media insisted that it would, the departure of that member meant that their popularity tapered off. This film would actually be their last project together before the group disbanded. And ironically, it would also feature their only song to achieve chart success in the US. But enough about S Club the band. What about their movie? Well, first thing I can tell you about this film is that it is very silly. Very silly. It features shenanigans, musical numbers, sometimes without even a passing nod to the plot, shenanigans, G-rated shower scenes, shenanigans, mildly naughty humour, shenanigans, and a stack of jokes ranging from groan-inducing to genuinely funny. Oh, and there are also shenanigans. This is, in short, the kind of movie where dance-based Prison Break is a perfectly reasonable plot development, as the band sets out on a series of goofy antics and hijinks in their effort to thwart what is itself a very goofy evil scheme. The movie is very much in the kids-like fantasy realm, with less sense of menace than even the typical Disney movie, and a very breezy tone. At the time of its release, the BBC's reviewer accused it of being cheap and cynical. And, I mean, let's face it, S Club are a manufactured pop band, and this is clearly intended to promote them. But that review also spent a disproportionate percentage of his review rating the attractiveness of the female band members, so I'm not inclined to give his opinions all that much respect. Secondly, S Club were launched as a pop band via a TV show, and so they've always had to straddle the worlds of singing and acting, and the highly choreographed nature of the performances that they give also meant that they needed to have some skill as dancers. Now, obviously, being good at any one of these disciplines requires talent and hard work. To be capable in all three is pretty rare, and I feel like I should say there are definitely some variations in the ability levels of the band members. Hannah Spirit is probably the weakest singer, for instance, but is definitely the best actor, with good comic timing, and as her subsequent career would show, the ability to deliver in more dramatic moments as well. The others are, well, they're generally better singers or dancers than they are actors, shall we say. And they're also hampered a little bit by the fact that one of the group was experiencing intense back pain at the time of filming, requiring her to basically set out all the dance sequences, of which there are quite a lot. The film does a lot of sort of creative editing of scenes to try and get around this limitation. So if you do go into this film, do so knowing that the performances are of varying quality. None are outrageously bad, I should be clear, but there is definitely no, holy cow, Lady Gaga can really act, A Star is Born moment here. They range from barely serviceable to pretty good in the acting stakes, and, I guess mostly pretty good in the singing and dancing realms. Finally, speaking of dancing and singing, this film is, as you might expect, heavy on musical numbers, most of which are highly choreographed. If you've got an issue with musicals, this is definitely not the movie for you. Even if you do like musicals, of course, you may or may not appreciate the song and dance numbers in this one. As you might imagine, the film's soundtrack is heavily weighted to featuring and cross-promoting the band's album of the same name, which was then in new release. If you're not really into boppy, dancey, synthy, sometimes schmaltzy pop music, then S Club's songs and this movie are probably not for you. For me personally, I am unapologetically a fan of the band's bouncy debut pop album, Bring It All Back. And while there's nothing in this film that I consider anywhere near as catchy as that song, it's all harmless enough pop music. For my tastes, the highlight musical number is the prison break dance-off scene, which I found delightfully dippy. It's also the only sequence in the film that uses a track that isn't from the Seeing Double album. But yeah, in final summation, do you like pop music and silliness? Because if not, then this is really not the movie for you. But for myself, I had a pretty good time. So that was Seeing Double. Next time, it's been a while since we talked about a Resident Evil movie, so let's put on our Milla Jovovich leather pants and check out the franchise's 2010 offering, Afterlife. But that's next time. Until then, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it.